It is 6:30. I'm Melissa Kakareka. Roads are clear this hour along I-20, but this may not be the case tomorrow. 2 men are on the run after robbing a busy gas station early Sunday morning. This happened around 6:30 a.m. at the Raceway gas station on Hearn Avenue. The area that we're talking about is right here. Caddo Parish leaders tell me the problem is that residential litter gets washed into this waterway from Boggy Bayou, Brushy Bayou, and other tributaries that are connected. Standing inside the Howard County Sheriff's Office right now, this is the front lobby area, and you can see just the damage left behind here. Still some water, mud, debris. I'm going to take you on a walk back through here. You can see it stretches back into the offices. The sheriff says they got a few inches of water in here. At the start of the parade with Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser, we're actually on one of the new floats this year. There's 2 new floats this year, the Walk-Ons one and the Louisiana Seafood one. Lieutenant Governor, tell us about this float.
Well, it's Louisiana Feed Your Soul, our new brand.
Hades, yes, finally. We'll stop sweating a little bit.
Right, just a little bit, just a little bit. It's kind of like a Christmas in July present for us.
Yes, that's going to feel so cool compared to the triple digits we've seen.
Oh, yes.
A search and rescue operation is underway in Oklahoma right now. Some of those injured are in critical condition tonight. Rick Damagella has a closer look at the destruction left behind in the already flood-devastated town. 2 Shreveport firefighters are recovering from minor injuries after putting out a house fire in the Highland neighborhood today. I was able to do some coursework of my own to see what it takes. And had some pretty good beginner's luck. Of course, that means information is somewhat limited because it's still actively going on right now at this moment. What we do know from Clarence Reese of the Shreveport Fire Department is that a young boy was playing in a drainage ditch. Meanwhile, 2 other men have life-threatening injuries after that different officer-involved shooting Saturday night. This one happened on East 80th and Dillman Streets just before 11 p.m. where 2 men were reported to be walking down the street shooting their guns. Imagine coming home from a hard day's work only to discover a construction crew tearing up your backyard. That's exactly what Craig Spence says happened to him this week at his home in Shreveport's Broadmoor neighborhood. New lawsuits threaten to change the Arkansas November ballot. How this could change the future of casinos in the state, straight ahead. And your trip home for the holidays may cost you even more. We'll explain why after the break. We do know that it is a possible homicide suspect barricaded in this house, although police would not clarify what homicide the person might be connected to.
He got back into the middle 90s, and I'm like,
I know. I thought the same thing today when I was outside. I thought, man, it's kind of hot.
Here's your beads.
Oh, I got to have my beads. These are going to be thrown out, of course. I'm looking forward to seeing the float. Walking through the area just off Linwood and Southern Loop, you'll find bottles, garbage, and debris building up in the water. Caddo Parish resident Doug Hawthorne is trying to draw attention to the issue.
It's overwhelming. It's pretty bad. There's truckload after truckload of trash.
The area was the site of a massive cleanup in early March, organized after a young girl wrote to Caddo Parish Sheriff Steve Prater. Hawthorne also organized another cleanup at the end of the month. But 200 trash bags and 2 cleanups later, there's plenty left to clean up.
Very hard to paddle through, you know, it's thick. And it's overwhelming and depressing, really. It's a shame.
The area that we're talking about is right here. Caddo Parish leaders tell me the problem is that residential litter gets washed into this waterway from Boggy Bayou, Brushy Bayou, and other tributaries that are connected. The sheriff's office, city, and parish personnel met to discuss a permanent fix before last month's cleanup. The parish has looked into putting a trash boom or net upstream to catch the debris, but determined it wouldn't be feasible or maintainable.
So we're still trying to find a solution. But in the meantime, all I can do is encourage us to continue with our pickups and encourage us all to think about a piece of paper that may be in the back of our pickup truck bed. Make sure we secure that piece of paper or that can or that water bottle when we drive down the road so that it doesn't fly out of our vehicle and end up in this wetland in South Caddo Parish.
Hawthorne says he plans to keep pushing for a solution as he and others continue to pick up the trash that others leave behind. There was a time when 18-year-old Trinotica Webb couldn't walk down the hall like this.
The first day we learned how to swaddle. The second day was learn how to move my arm because I got shot in my arm. So I couldn't learn to sit up until I learned to move my arm.
In October of 2015, the then 15-year-old was shot 12 times inside Shreveport's Woodlawn Terrace apartments. Her stepmother was killed and another woman injured.
It was actually a touch and go for like, I want to say for 3 days. When it actually dawned that she would be okay, but it'd be a long road for her to recover, it was like a weight just lifted off my shoulder.
I was a lot of medicine, so I was like really numb. It wasn't until like they started trying to wean me out that I just felt the full pressure of just how bad it was.
Trinatica spent the next few months at University Health recovering.
Yes,
KSLA News 12 was there as she was released from the hospital in February of 2016.
There you go.
From this moment on, Trinatica says her focus was going back to school.
Well, I always loved school. School's my passion. I can't miss a day of school.
She was trying to go back to school before we even got out of rehab.
I was actually behind because I missed so much, but I slowly, with help with some of my teachers, I was able to catch up behind the other students because I actually kind of basically speed right past them.
2.5 years after that life-changing shooting, Trinatica is now preparing to walk in her cap and gown. She graduates from Woodlawn High School on May 11th.
I'm proud, I'm happy. It was a goal that she set for and she hit it.
And the 18-year-old is already thinking about college. She plans to study pre-law.
Kids getting shot is like coming to be like the highest issue in America, and I want to like make that like a front day issue.
While it's been a long road to get to this point, it's clear Trinatica won't let anything hold her back.
When I first got to the hospital, I felt everybody was staring at me. They always felt kind of sorry for me, and that's what made me push even forward. So like, I don't want to tell you my story for you to feel sorry for me. No, I want to tell you because I want you to understand why I'm the way I am now. I want you to see me for who I am, and that even after what happened to me, you could be something. You need to put yourself forward and forget about what everybody else got to say.
A miraculous recovery behind her, she's now walking into her future. Melissa Kakareka, KSLA News 12.